Hello there, Facebook friends. This is Sheila E. from Tennessee again. And I know I look horrid. I don't have any makeup on. My hair's all balled up. But I've been a very busy woman this past few days. So I wanted to show you something. I'm going to do what they call a shepherd pie. And it's going to be done my way. Not similar to the recipes you find, but just a little bit different. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to put some olive oil in our skillet, just a little bit, and I use the 93.7 ground beef. So I use that. So that's the kind I use. You can use the other kind, but it's not. It's got more fat in it, so you're really literally getting less meat and all fat that you have to throw away. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn my stove on. I wanted to tell you I do have. This is fresh ground beef, by the way. I do have my baking dish out and I have it already sprayed with my favorite Baker's Joy. So I do already have it sprayed. You wash my hands real good. I'm going to use a wooden spoon. Probably get this hurried and chopped, ground up. All right, we'll get this done. Also, your next step would be to, I've got my potatoes. I want you to see I got my potatoes ready because it will be topped with potatoes and then some fresh Parmesan. I'm using frozen peas and frozen steamable mixed vegetables, but I'm going to put them in there. They don't have to be steamed. All right, and so I've got my ground beef, and I'm going to dice an onion right here. See right here? I'm going to be dicing an onion, and the ingredients calls for Worcestershire. It calls for ketchup. I use ketchup instead of tomato paste and flour, and also some people can use beef broth or whatever, but I used brown gravy mix, and then I've got it in about a cup and a half of hot water, and it's going to be sitting here till I get ready to use it. So I'll try to get all my ingredients ready, and I do have some extra, and this is Kobe Jack cheese, and I'm going to put that in there too. I think that would be really, really good. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to brown this meat. And then in our olive oil, we just drizzled olive oil. We're going to brown the meat, and then we're going to add the onion. I should have already had this meat browned, but I didn't. I've been really busy and running a lot today, so I'm going to put you right here where you can see this. Why don't y'all say hi to me? Tell me where you're watching me from. I appreciate all my viewers. I think I have 70 now that's following me. And I appreciate that because, folks, you know, sometimes us working women, we got kids and grandkids, and we have to do a lot of meal prep. Now, I've also froze this. This is good to freeze. You can freeze this. I wouldn't want to freeze it up to 3 months, but maybe you could freeze it up to or maybe a month. It's just because of the potatoes in it. You can use fresh vegetables also. If you have some fresh peas and carrots, you can do that. So anyway, we're going to get this started, and like I said, we're going to do my version of shepherd pie. So also we're going to be using parsley, rosemary, and thyme. So I've got all that sitting out here too, and got my measuring cups, and we're going to be putting some flour in here too, and it makes sort of like a gravy that will go on the bottom with your meat. So your first layer is going to be your ground beef and your onions and your seasoned mix. I'm going to go ahead and be chopping up this onion while the ground beef is browning right there. So And I could have put it in my little chopper, and it would probably been a lot quicker. And you want to dice this just as thin as you can. You don't want it mush. If you put it in those little onion choppers or little choppers, it can make it mush just in a second or two. So we don't want it mush. We want a little bit of the onion, and where we can saute it with the meat. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this other. It says a whole onion. This is my recipe. I guess it was somebody down the line in the family, and then I've just sort of tweaked it. So anyway, we're going to chop this one up. And I'm cutting it just as thin as I can cut it. Let me put you down here where you can see. How's that? Can you see that just a little bit better? Yeah, let me know where y'all watching me from. Nobody's telling me. I'm getting some thumbs up and they like it, like my videos. And telling me that some of the candy and stuff that I made for my family and friends looked good and all that. And then I've got a few people, that does about sometimes like what I do, and they're following me too, and that makes me happy because we can all share recipes, So I've got this chopped up pretty good right here. I'm going to stir this a little bit more. You can have your oven preheated once you get your meat done brown. You can have your oven preheated at 400 because once we get it at 400, it's going to bake for about 30 to 35 minutes. I'll go ahead and do this. We're not going to put the timer on yet, just the oven. And I do have a pan that I'm going to use to set my baking dish in just in case it does boil over. I also have another recipe I want to try out. I've not tried it yet, and it's called, it's rolls. It's a 2-ingredient rolls. It says you used Greek yogurt and flour, self-rising flour, and you mix all that together and you make rolls. Well, we're going to see because I've not tried that one. We'll just see how that works out. Also, I want to take some cream cheese. I don't have a smoker, y'all, but I'm going to take it and do it just like I do my Boston butt. I'm going to put it in a aluminum foil pan and cover it up, but I'm going to maybe try it with 1 block of 8-ounce Philadelphia cream cheese, and I'm going to put some blackened seasoning on that cream cheese and maybe some mix it up with a little bit of Cajun on top of that, and then I'm going to put it in a pan with some aluminum foil, and I'm going to add some liquid smoke to that, guys. Also, later, a day or two, I'm going to try a pound cake. That's one kind of cake that I've never made, so we're going to try that and see how that turns out. This is getting brown now, so what I'm going to do here in just a minute is I'm going to see if I can drain some of the water off of it. I'm not seeing a whole lot. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my napkins in there. And now we've about got it all. I'm going to leave just a little bit. As you can see now, we've got this brown. And I'm going to add my onion. And then, because I want it sauteed good. See that onion? And I mean, you can chop it finer if you want to. That's really up to you. Let me get my paper towel here. And so I'm going to try to get that a little bit sauteed, and it says we can put in 2 teaspoons of parsley. So right here is our parsley. I don't think I've got 2 teaspoons, but we'll just have to do with what we've got. So 1/2 teaspoon. That's 1/2 tablespoon, so that'll be around a teaspoon. So. Almost did, just like a little bit. I'll leave that laying out so I can fill that one up. Okay, also it says 1 teaspoon of rosemary. Continue stirring with your wooden spoon till you get those onions sauteed good. If you've all tried any of my recipes, let me know. I'm going to do some, try to do before Sunday some white chocolate covered grits for a little fella that goes to our church. Okay, and then 1 teaspoon of thyme. So we've got all that. And we're going to do the thyme now. I love thyme. I think it makes anything taste better. Okay, now we've got all our seasonings except for our salt and black pepper. That's what I've done with that lid. This bar stool is black, so you can't hardly see it, so I guess I'll just set that right there for the moment. I'm going to continue to stir. Boy, that starts smelling good, guys. 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire. And I use the Heinz Worcestershire. So we got that out of the way. And let's see. I'm going to wait a few minutes before I put the flour in there. I'm going to wait till these onions saute a little bit more. Now I'm interested to see how the pound cake, they say that some people can't make homemade cheesecakes like the New York style cheesecake. Some people, because they just fall. And some people, everybody can't do everything, but everybody can do some things. I'm interested to see how I do with a pound cake. I've never made a pound cake. So we're going to see how that goes. I'm going to get a fork and take some of those big pieces of onion out, because I don't like those big pieces of onion. There's another piece or two of that onion just now saw it. I thought I had it chopped there and that, y'all. Can y'all smell this? This is going to be delicious. It is going to be delicious, you all. Now let's see. It tells me that I need to put some salt and pepper in there. And it says a half a teaspoon of salt. There's a half a teaspoon of salt. By the way, guys, I think that was a pound. It says a pound or a pound and a half of ground beef. I'm going to cut it down just a little bit. Now I'm just going to put my pepper. It says half a teaspoon of pepper, but I'm just going to put some pepper in there. How's that? Ain't that what you do too? You know, that pepper makes everything delicious, you all. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add just a little tiny bit of this 35 calorie country crock because I just love the butter taste. This is going to be about a tablespoon. I'm going to add a good heaping tablespoon. What a really bad heaping. And I'm going to throw that right in there and get those onions a little bit more sauteed. Get that pepper and salt and all those good spices stirred up. Now it says you can put garlic powder in this too, or garlic. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to use the onion. I may put a little bit of onion powder. What do you think, guys? You think that'd be okay? Because I don't use a whole lot of garlic. I love garlic, but my family don't. My daughter can't hardly. I'm just supposed to do a sprinkle of this onion powder. That's probably 2 or 3 sprinkles over it. And guys, just watch me. I didn't measure. You know how I am. You know how this old girl is from Tennessee. I'll see another big onion in there. I'll hear them fuss if they find a big onion. Let me get me another napkin here. I should have chopped that just a little bit. Now, it don't bother me. I mean, I don't want big hunks in there. You know me and my hunks. But once they're sauteed, it don't bother me at all. I can eat onion plain. You know that. I can eat onion raw. I hope all my friends from work are watching. So what I'm going to do now is I've got this brown gravy mix and a cup of water, and it says that you can add 2 tablespoons of flour. And I'm just guessing at the tablespoons. This looks like a tablespoon to me. So I'm going to add, and that's a heaping. Maybe I shouldn't put the next in heaping. How's that? And I'm just going to add that to my brown gravy mix. I don't see no reason why you couldn't. That's just the way I do it. So we're going to mix all that up. So we got brown gravy and flour. Try to mix all them lumps up. And then we're going to proceed to put this in there. We're going to put that in there. So what we got now, guys? We got ground beef, browned, sauteed onion. We have salt and pepper. We have thyme, parsley, and rosemary, and a little bit of butter. And now we've got a pack of brown gravy mix with water, and we've added 2 tablespoons of flour to that. Oh, it smells so good, guys. I'm telling you. I'm gonna let this fry just a little bit more, making sure that I got everything in there. We had our oil, our ground beef, our onion, 2 teaspoons of parsley, 1 teaspoon of rosemary, 1 teaspoon of thyme, a half a teaspoon of pepper, half a teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, 2 tablespoons of flour. Now it says 2 tablespoons of ketchup. We're just going to give it a square. I don't think we can measure. Let's see if we can measure. There's 1. Now, if you don't have ketchup and you happen to have tomato paste on hand, you can use tomato paste, I believe. I believe you could get by with that. I think even some recipes even call for it. I'm trying to get some more of those big pieces of onion out. I bet you I'll go slow the next time and I'll chop them. See that big piece of onion right there? So we're going to lay that right here. So we're going to get all this incorporated. You want it really incorporated really good. Because once you put it in that pan, that's going to be your base for your shepherd pie. And I've got some asparagus over here. I'm just debating whether I need to saute that or what with this. It's got about everything in it. I may wait till tomorrow and do. I don't know. You never know about me. It's what time, ever how much time I have. So I'm going to taste this, folks, and I'm going to see if it's got enough salt and pepper in it for me. And that's what I suggest you all do. You know, some people like more salt and pepper than others. So what we're going to do is get down in here, and I'm going to try to taste of it down in here where the sauces and the stuff's at. That tastes good to me. Just another little dab of that butter in there. You know, that's probably 70 calories just in butter. That's okay. We can handle it. This is meat and vegetables, guys. And some potatoes. Have your potatoes already fixed, boiled, mashed with butter and salt and pepper. And then I'm going to add, right now here in just a minute, I'm going to add some Parmesan cheese to it. I'm going to add just a little bit more ketchup. That looks awful dry. What do you think? What do you think, guys? You see me? See it? Let me move you right there where you can see that. I'm just going to add a squirt. That's probably another tablespoon. This looks so good. Those onions are sauteed up. They look so good. Let me move this out of the way. I just can't wait to try that roll recipe. I've never heard of a 2-ingredient roll recipe. Have you all? I'm telling you what, people, this smells delicious. I'm going to let that sit there and simmer, and I'm going to put some Parmesan flakes or some fresh Parmesan. This is fresh grated Parmesan is what it says. Home style, all natural Parmesan and Romano. So I love Romano also. So it says on my recipe, it says 1/4 of a cup, but you know I love cheese. So let me see. Let's see how much it says on the Parmesan. It says 1/4 of a cup. We're going to do about 1/2 a cup. What do you think about that? You think that's pretty good? Watch that stuff. Watch that stuff stick up there. You have to just, sometimes you just have to crumble it up. Whoop, that's a way too much air. We better put some of that back. We'll be tasting all cheese, won't we? Okay. That's about 1/2 a cup, guys. That's a cup measure. So I'm going to put that in there. And put my Parmesan and Romano back. And I'm going to mix this up in these potatoes. So I'm going to pull you back so you can see what I'm doing here. Alright, got you. I'm just mixing that Romano in here. It's already got salt, pepper, and butter. Got about a whole stick of butter in that. So I think we're about ready. I've got this cut off. And I think we're just about ready to start layering this. I'm going to put my baking dish right here where you can see. And I did spray it with my baker's joy. You can spray it with whatever you want to spray it with. I just want to make sure that y'all can see. Let's see here. Let me see if I've got another spoon right here. We can just use this potato spoon, can't we? So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put this right in the bottom of this baking dish. And I'm going to mash that down. Really, that pound of meat looks like more. That's because it's not got so much fat in it. You thought I just took a napkin and dried it up. I mean, I didn't have to even drain it. This probably could have took like a half a pound. I probably could have used a half a pound of the 93.7 ground beef. Now, I'm going to take these frozen vegetables. This is steamable. This is the Bird's Eye steamable mixed vegetables. Now, it does have some green beans in it. I usually just put peas and carrots, so we'll see what this does. And you just take it and shake it all over. I probably could pick the green beans out. Well, there's quite a few of them, so I don't guess I could. So when you spread that around, I'm going to go ahead and pick them out because I've never made it with green beans in it. So I'm going to pick the green beans out, and then we're going to put some more peas in there. What's that? Does that sound good to y'all? Yeah, I've always just put peas, carrots, and corn in mine. That's all I've ever put, just peas, carrots. And I couldn't find in my freezer. It says that you can use canned carrots and corn, but I didn't. I just wanted these frozen ones, but I couldn't find just my peas and carrots. I've got plenty of peas, frozen peas, but I couldn't find one where it had peas and carrots or just frozen carrots. I'll have to make me a run again. So there, we've got that one, and then I'm going to open this one. This was just Food Club frozen peas, and I may not use all these. I'm going to bust those up. Those are still frozen. Probably going to use about a half a bag of these and put the rest of them in a Ziploc. Put them down in a Ziploc. See what I'm doing there, guys? Let me pull you back just a little bit more. See what I'm doing there? Okay. So I'm going to put these in a Ziploc and put them back. Now, a very important part is this part right here. Is we take our potatoes and we start putting them on top. This is the golden Yukon potatoes. I hope they'll be good in it. I had them, so that's what we're going to use. And you just spread that and work that around. And remember, this has got the Parmesan. It's got Parmesan and Romano. I didn't have just a regular Parmesan, so we're going to use Parmesan and Romano. How's that to you? You know it can't be bad. Anything that's got cheese in it's good. So we just keep putting this on there. Some people I've seen that when they do a shepherd pie, they put like canned biscuits on top. I don't want no canned biscuits on this. If I wanted a pot pie, I'd make me a pot pie. I just don't want one. You know how that goes. All right. And those potatoes were a little thick. I should have Put a little more milk. I put half and half, or whole milk and butter and salt and pepper. And then I put that Parmesan in there. This is looking good, guys. I wish y'all could come and visit and we'd share a meal. Let's get all those potatoes out of there. Try to get it as even as you can. Does that not look wonderful? That looks delicious, you all. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put just a little bit of this on. This is a Kobe Jack. Just a little. And everybody makes theirs different, so you can tweak your own recipe. As long as this is just ground beef and spices and vegetables, and then your potatoes. All right. All right, how's that look? Does that look good? All right, guys, I'm gonna put this in the oven at 400. Let you see right here. Put this in the oven. Can you see me, guys? I'm gonna turn these around right here where you can see. Don't want you to see me. I look horrid. Oh, where's my oven? Where'd my oven go? There it is. All right, here we go. I'm putting it in this pan here, just in case if it boils over. Just in case. So I'll see you back here in just a few minutes. I'm gonna put that on a 30-minute timer. 30 minutes, and then we're going to start, and it's 400 degrees for 30 minutes. Hey guys, I'll see you here in just a few, okay? All right, this is Sheila E. I'll be right back.